Okay, so we had played Hinata in Standard, and this card with Magma Opus lets Magma Opus cost just 1 mana, or 2 mana, sorry. And Feather says, if you target any of your creatures with an instant or sorcery, then instant or sorcery comes back to your hand. So if we target one of our creatures with one of the 4 damage or the tap, Feather puts the Magma Opus back into our hand after. Same for Sublime Epiphany. If we create a token that's a copy of one of our creatures, the Sublime Epiphany is going to come back to our hand. And then we've got Torrential Gearhulk in here as well, because like Gearhulk cheats both of these cards out nicely as well. And Sublime Epiphany has a bunch of targets, so it also synergizes with Hinata. So basically both of these big sorceries can work well with Feather and this. The bottom end of our deck is just like good Jeskai control interactive bits, and then Expressive Iteration, because Expressive Iteration. So let's go ahead and pop on into some games with this and see if this can get on the scoreboard at all. It's definitely got some adorable things going on. Now, the blue-black tempo deck we've played in Alchemy is my favorite thing I've played so far. We're definitely going to play some more of that later this week. Probably tomorrow or Thursday. I see Nissan replied to my tweet. I didn't. Was it anything other than, we're sorry we messed up? Nissan is committed to the safety and security of our customers and their passengers. And maybe you should send them a fucking email telling them their car could catch fire because there's an active recall on it. Dedicated my butt. The vehicle combo deck we played yesterday was very reasonable and sweet, and I think I might have said that one if Historic wasn't just all control decks. Hopefully not a control deck. We played Historic for 2 hours yesterday, and we played against Control 5 out of 8 matches, I think. It was a lot. The intern selected safety issue tweet from the dropdown. Yeah, basically. One of the things that's sweet too, chat, I didn't talk about this interaction. Feather works with Torrential Gearhulk flashing things back the way we want it to. So if we Feather, if we flash something back with Gearhulk while we have Feather out, we do in fact get to do all the things. Chat, I'm human. If you want me to keep quiet about a problem your company has, I don't know that I would say good things about you for like low to mid 5 figures, but I'd probably be willing to be quiet for low to mid 5 figures. Okay, so counter a spell, activated or triggered ability, return a non-land permanent, create a token, draws a card. How are we doing this? Do I want to Opus at upkeep and tap these lands? I kind of think I do, right? I can only deal 3 damage though, so I'd have to pay 3 for this. Does this have 4 targets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I can Opus and then still Sublime Epiphany, right? Yeah, because we get to counter the draw trigger too. Yeah, there are things that have Shroud, but I can target myself and the Dawn Crown for making this cheaper. And then we can copy this token with the Sublime Epiphany. Yeah, this is fine. I just want to stop them from putting their lock pieces into play. So I'm countering 9 Lives and Solemnity here, the things we're looking to stop. Yeah, I'm just trying not to get locked out, shit. I understand what my card is going to do, chat. I'm just waiting for the thing I actually want to counter. Okay, I'm going to counter this one because I want to put pressure into play now. Pretty colors, go! Clarion, we will always remember. Do 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 do. Be do 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 do. Do 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 do. Clarion, my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are gone. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. Oh, they could. We get 9 lives tier, we're sad, right? I was thinking we could bounce 9 lives, but it's hexproof. That's fine though, right? I think we're actually okay. I think we're actually okay. It's cool. It's cool. Nobody panic. Okay, so we go Torrential Gearhulk. Target Sublime Epiphany. Sublime Epiphany. Do a bunch of stuff. And then we're going to copy the Gearhulk. And the Gearhulk's going to flashback Magma Opus. And then the Solemnity, the Sublime Epiphany, the Magma Opus are going to end up in our hand. Oh, gosh. Oh, I like when we get to do the thing right away. That was so, for reference, for people that weren't following, we were going to end that turn with 2 Gearhulks in play and Sublime Epiphany and Magma Opus in our hand. That was going to be the end state of why our opponent was conceding there, because Feather was going to bring them both back to hand. They thought we were locked in here with them, chat. They were really locked in here with us. Ah! All right, so this is definitely, I think we want the Clarions. I think the Prismari commands come out. Oh, Portable Hull's absurd here, right? It's like takes their creatures and it takes their Sterling Groves and stuff. It's probably a Veto matchup. I don't know if this is a Mystic Dispute matchup. Need to cut one card here. Are you sure you don't want to make the Opus dark? I mean, if you missed it, chat, we played Hinata with Opus and Standard too. These two cards are good together in Standard as well. That would be my number one deck is the blue-black tempo, but the number 2 deck we played was Hinata plus Opus and Standard, which is where we got the idea for this from. Need to cut one more card. Sorry, Alchemy. Yeah, I mean Alchemy, chat. Standard doesn't exist. Sorry, there's only one rotating format in my brain. It is gonna take a while for me to get used to saying Alchemy because normally rotating format always means Standard. Wargy, we did the full lock in the first game and it was glorious. Actually incredible. Let's start here because it can get us a Dovin's Veto for next turn. And library exile, because with the treasure token here, I'll be able to shock land in and then Hinata plus Opus next turn regardless. Defender and loses flying. Oh, that's rude. That's fine. Not a big deal. We've had our first 1-mana Magma Opus, yes, but what about second 2-mana Magma Opus, chat? Great. The Esper deck was fine. We ended up getting a little bored by the end because we kept queuing into control decks, but you know, that's Magic in 2022. We could still get locked out of this game, for what it's worth here. They have Solemnity and Sterling Grove. If they find 9 lives and another Sterling Grove, we are locked out. So, I'm gonna do our best here. Jeff owns a Nissan, so I don't know if he can relate to feeling safe in a car anymore. It should be tapping Weaver. No, the Weaver is hexproof, Jeff. Nazar, thanks for the follow. There's a second Sterling Grove. So if they find the 9 lives here, we are dead. They haven't windmilled it yet. How do we die? We'll no longer be able to kill them. So it's a mostly dead type situation. I guess we're starting here. They're dead to Clarion. Well, this has Defender. Always wonder in a spot like this, did I miss a point of damage somewhere? Feels like I must have, right? Okay, so no, I've tapped out every single turn. So Sublime Epiphany makes target player draw a card. So I think there's a chance that we could deck them. $25 cards left. How many Clarions do I have left? 2 in my deck right now. I can't currently deal damage to them, chat. And they've got Shroud on all of these as well. Yeah, we have to survive the spirits is the question. So if I want to deal 3 to one of these, I have to pay 4 for this, so that works out fine. Do I need to tap these other 2? I think I'm tapping their lands for now. The Rune Chair pre-release just means I have access to the new set a day before other people. No, it's not the Shroud. Solemnity prevents my opponent's cards from getting counters on them. Oh, we're gonna lose the Hinata here. That's my 3rd Hinata, so we're probably done. I don't know if they give us skins on the accounts, actually. I mean, for what it's worth, chat, if you don't want to play long, grindy matches like this one, you need to just not play Historic. Honestly, you probably need to not play Magic Arena. You definitely don't want to play this deck. If you're playing decks like what we're currently registered, like you're signing up to play matches like this one. Magic is a very control-heavy game in its modern iteration. Brawl isn't so bad. There are a fuck ton of counterspells in Brawl. Yeah, I've seen some interesting takes from Twitch chat, but watching the last game that we played and then typing the words in chat, "Rest in peace, killed my deck," might be one of the most fundamental misunderstandings of what just occurred on someone's screen I have ever experienced from Twitch chat. It's like an impressive level of not understanding what just occurred. Hinata's an interesting draw, so how do we want to sequence here? I think I just want to get my mana going. Yeah, I mean, the rest in peace, like, did turn off the Torrential Gearhulks in my hand, but, like, not having access to Torrential Gearhulk wasn't why we lost. I'm gonna lead on Feather here because I want to be able to this into this next turn or this into this. in. We're putting more blue mana into play here, actually. White, red, blue. I wanna leave blue up so we can Sublime Epiphany. Don't let the auto tapper get you, chip. Have you considered putting a bunch of bad cards in your deck to dunk the rest in peace matchup? It's for the tier 3 in the 17 months. Any difference between Shroud and Hexproof? Yeah, Hexproof you can still target your own things. Shroud you cannot. Shroud is nobody targets these things. Our inability to draw Deafening Clarion has been pretty frustrating. If we'd have had a Clarion in the top quarter of our deck, these would have gotten cleaned out, and they'd have been in a bad way. Well, it forces them to replay it, Zowsy. Like, do you see how many cards are in their hand? Do you think my opponent doesn't have more enchantments to play for 2 mana? That's my question to you. Bouncing this is literally only bad if you think my opponent has no cards left. Which, it seems very, very silly to assume that, I think. There's also value in constantly keeping the Sterling Grove bounced when we can so they can't get a second into play. Your statement doesn't make you... Like, you didn't answer my question, Zowsy. I said, did you think they didn't have any spells in their hand? Because, like, here, again, I'm just going to make sure I keep putting the Sterling Grove back, because eventually they're not going to be able to draw cards. Because their deck will be too small. So forcing them to continue playing this out also has value as well. It's not like they're running out of resources if I don't bounce this. If they were on nothing, I would agree with you that bouncing this doesn't accomplish a lot. Oh, crap. They have Rest in Peace. We can't win anymore. Not only is decking them a win condition, we can execute through 9 lives, but Sublime Epiphany makes target player draw a card. So we can actually help deck them. Am I dead this turn to Destiny Spinner? I don't think so, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not quite. So again, I can block with Feather. This is 21. I'm at 18. We're going to 1 here. We finally drew one of our 4 Clarions, 18 cards into our deck. Is Hallowed Haunting better than Sigil of the Empty Throne? I mean, the opponent seems to think so. Is green-white enchantments popular enough for a sideboard slot? No. Also, like, I don't really know how you could watch these last couple of games that we've played and conclude that I need sideboard cards for this matchup. Like, chat, their draws have been good, and we just, like it took us 18 cards to find our 4 of this game, right? Like, we just barely lost the game before this one. Do I want to put Hinata into play without the ability to protect it right away? Probably not. I also just don't think I can not use my mana this turn. We are dead to another Destiny Spinner, which is what it is. So pretty unfortunate games, 2s and 3 there. If we would have been able to find a Clarion, they had Sterling Grove early all the games, and we didn't have Clarion. I know it feels bad to lose a game like that, but Magic's a game full of feel bads. You got to just get used to it and take them on the chin. Thanks for the 13 months, Dice Smith. Alright, after the 3rd suggestion of Cleansing Nova, I'm putting chat in sub-only mode for the remainder of the Magic portion of this stream. If you would like to continue to chat, feel free to support my content, but I've had enough stupid things said to have my fill of freebies for the day. Peak Twitch chat is wanting to aggressively change the deck that you're playing to beat the thing you just lost to. You will lose way more matches of Magic doing that every time than just, like, chilling. So the 9 minutes, Monkey. 9 months, Monkey. Welcome back. Getting Hinata down here means that their counter spells will be more expensive on future turns, which is great.
Let's slow this down. Reverse. Really should have seen that coming.
Supposed to jam the Hinata there since it only had 2 mana up. I think with them having Archmage's Charm available, we just replay the Feather here. I should have played the Hinata last turn when they didn't have Archmage's Charm up. Mistake on my part. It's like we're playing Commander. Oh, that's great.
Trust me. You know what? I'm not done.
Well, they sacrificed their creature lands. That must have been a misclick, right? We just make a treasure token. I don't really want to. I think I want to loot my Hinata.
Let me know if you're up for round 2.
I'm gonna hold on to this in case we draw another Prismari Command. Magma Opus would need one shit. This opponent's been hurt by the enchantments deck, chat. This person's a bona fide member of Twitch, chat. Here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Should have known again. Do 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 do. Be do 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 do. Be do do do. Library Exile. And if this finds an untapped land, we can still do this. And Library Exile. Oh, that's true. This is good against Cat Oven. Okay, I'd buy for $1 like this type of card. So Cleansing Nova's a pretty miserable suggestion because it's only good against the enchantments deck. The fact that this card is good against the enchantments deck and also good against one of the best decks in the formats in the Sacrifice deck means that playing something like this could be reasonable. You don't want to shove really narrow bad cards into your deck, but putting a card that can help a matchup that you lost and is also just generically fine in the format is a fine thing to be doing. I think a lot of historic decks is probably a stretch, but Cat Oven specifically is definitely, this card's definitely good against. And Cat Oven is popular enough that having a card for that is probably fine. probably got a pretty okay Gandalf matchup. We got a lot of late game value. Magma Opus and Sublime Epiphany. Pretty reasonable. Reasonable top decks, turns out. So I think that's important to remember here. Our opponent, like, Divine Purged us a bunch, but they basically got 3-for-1 by Feather, right? Like, they purged Feather twice, and then after purging it twice, they finally Archmage's Charmed it? That really wasn't a great exchange for them, huh? Reboarding like this, would I rather have Prismari Command or Valorous Stance? Maybe Valorous Stance. Protecting these things from spot removal actually seems like it has potentially a lot of value for their sweepers. Let's try boarding like this. By the way, chat, if you're a long-time Modern player who despises this deck that our opponent is playing, but you can't quite put your finger on why you hate it so much, you hate it because their deck is literally Tron. Like, these control decks always feel kind of Tron adjacent, and this is just literally a control deck that's just like ramping incidentally. Just actual factual Tron.
Before action.
Oh, that's why I love Lotus Field so much. Yeah, all the Tron players in chat realizing they are who they are right now. Oh yeah, Tron is a big mana control deck through and through. Oh! I get to keep the Opus that's already in my bin. That's great. Lovely. Lovely. Now, unfortunately... Oh, they... I was gonna say I have to pay 2 for this to get its trigger, but they chump blocked with their things, so it's no longer the case. Now, something to note that's a little sad about Feather in this instance. Feather's text adds text to the spell as it resolves. So if they counter spell the thing we're feathering, we don't actually get it back. The feather works with Rest in Peace out. I think we're dead, huh? I guess maybe they don't have another counter spell after this one and some of these things resolve, but we'll force the Archmage's Charm here for sure. They have infinite mana and Memory Deluge as well, though. Oh, I guess them countering this let them keep their Deluge also, right? So it wasn't just upside for us. Wasn't thinking about that. I mean, for what it's worth, Wargy, this blue-white control deck is frustrating to play against because control decks in Magic are basically always frustrating to play against, but this deck consistently fails and falls flat in all competitive Historic tournaments. This deck only sees the volume of play that it does because Magic players are sick individuals on average that have a desire to play these types of decks, even when they're not good.
This isn't a fight you can win. Hurry.
Yeah, I think we're probably done here at this point. Opponent just had what? 8 mana on turn 4? 8 mana on turn 4? Not a whole lot we could do there in terms of counterplay. I disagree, Wargy. The fact that the blue-white deck's as popular as it is, I don't think it should be banned outright, but I do think they should make other things in the format a little bit better. It's annoying that this blue-white deck is 25% of the historic ladder, but the metrics on it, I'd rather see them buff other things up. You know what? You know what is probably one of the best ways they could make that blue-white deck worse, chat? Unban Winota and Field of the Dead. Unban Winota and Field of the Dead, chat. Want to take that deck and shove it in a trash can and get it out of my format? Can we unban Winota and Field of the Dead, please? Free Winota, chat. Set my lady free. I agree, Forklift TV. I have a piece of spot removal here. Alright, so if they blink, we get to dumpster them, right? Oh no, I forgot to tap my thing and get it back. Shit. I was in autopilot mode. We drew another one, but that's on me. That's on me. I should have another Magma Opus in hand. That could really cost us. I was so excited they tapped out, chat. I was clicking too quickly. The taps just didn't even matter either. Hey, do you have the sweeper, or are we done here, opponent? Yeah, we did at least draw another one to make up for my mistake, but they have counter spells and stuff, so not having a second is a big deal. Oh, right, and their counter spells cost 1 more mana at the moment, too. Chat, I don't even think that matchup's bad. I think we have a lot of good tools for it. It's tedious. Control deck's always tedious to play against, but does not seem bad. Did that Magma Opus cost 2 mana? It does. That's the combo, Rick Jackson. Hinata, make sure Magma Opus costs 2 mana. It's my Magma Opus. I mean, lethal if I paid 4 for it. I was still gonna have lethal because we were gonna cast it again during my end step, chat. And my line is strictly better than killing them sooner because we drew more cards. Won't somebody please think of the card draw? I just Gearhulk, Epiphany, and copy Gearhulk, Opus, and then step. It's a beautiful thing, Robin. It's a beautiful thing. We beat Tron, Chad. It's all upside from here. Easy game. Two lands, please. Thank you. All right, so we get to go Hinata next turn into Magma Opus Feather the following turn. Listen, Wargy, if you'd have told me the best use for Feather in 2022 was going to be playing it in a control deck, I would have looked at everything else that Fire Design has done so far and been like, yeah, that sounds right. All right, so you're super dead. Nice mid-range deck, opponent. Welcome to the Magma Opus Thunderdome. Woohoo! Papi! Bye, friend! The old Thoughtseize Concede. A tried and true mid-range deck classic. Alright, I'm boarding some Clarions and a couple of Valorous Stances to protect my threats from their removal. Let's do it. It could be right to bring in portable holes. Could be right to bring in portable holes. No, I'm pretty confident in saying that the Jeskai control shell is probably the best shell for Feather. Control decks are cracked, Wargy. Expressive Iteration is really good. That would be a fun stat to have access to, John. How often do people concede after they cast Thoughtseize? Just a big old nope right on out. Like, nope, gotta bounce, sorry. Not me. Alright, one of your finest Clarions, please, deck. Library Exile. And again, for those of you just joining us, Feather Torrential Gearhulk Opus works exactly how we want it to work, in that if you oh no, rude. The sheer audacity. How dare they interact with me? First off, how dare you? Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. I think we're dead, fam. You draw like a Lightning Helix or two. Let's Expressive Iteration into double Lightning Helix, I think is the line. Sounds strong. I think we've Clarioned slightly too late, huh? Yeah, Soul Guide Lantern, be a little bit of graveyard interaction, making our hand a little bit too clunky. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Maybe I want the portable holes. Maybe. They're better than the stances. We didn't draw stances that game, so that game would have gone the same, but it's fine. Oh, I forgot the Epiphany. I forgot the Epiphany could counter the Bugbear activation. Just legitimately slipped my mind. So thank you for pointing that out. And you're right, we weren't out of it. Because we could have Epiphanied into that into cast Magma Opus the following turn, right? Was a real sequence? It's a good pick up. Epiphany's like a card that's got like kind of weird play patterns to it. It's gonna take me some getting used to commit those types of things to muscle memory when I'm assessing what can happen. Swarm hath been fed. We're gonna draw the land next turn, champ. Untapped lands on top. I believe in us. No! Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. And they have a Hive of the Eye Tyrant to eat our Magma Opus. Yep. So unfortunate. It's our 5th card in the graveyard too. Oh, that was their 6th actually. Yikes. Oh, we shouldn't have made fun of their mid-range deck, chat. It came back to bite us. A little too much junk in the trunk that game. One land difference, right? Like if they have one less discard spell there, or we draw the untapped land a turn sooner. The Magma Opus resolved, we bury them pretty thoroughly. That's how it breaks sometimes. Sometimes it do be like that. I don't think that's true, John. The Rakdos deck really isn't comparable to the Phoenix deck. They're very different play patterns. That's true. We made content in the first games. That's the real victories are the content we made along the way. I assume it was implied by the lack of posts there, but just for clarity's sake, in case anyone was wondering, I have fully retired the Deck Digest channel for the time being. The amount of work it was taking to the rate at which it was growing was just not a good ratio. Magic content as a whole has shrunk enough in the last couple of years or year or so that I don't really feel comfortable hiring an editor for something that might not go anywhere, so I'm just gonna let it taper off. I think we're just taking 2 lands here. My hand's pretty good. Teamer Triome Shark Typhoon. Cultivate. Okay. Opponent is ramping it up. Monastery Swift Sphere is one of the few cards that's not a, oh wait, that's legal yet. It's not legal in this one. For what it's worth, too, I also think the way in which I do my content here on Twitch doesn't resonate well with a lot of people that are looking to consume YouTube content. The fact that I interact with chat a bunch is a huge benefit for Twitch content, but it's a pretty active detriment when you're trying to make YouTube stuff. A lot of people don't want to hear your thoughts as you're engaging with chat. They just want to watch a video about a game. Just gonna do this now while they're tipped out. We die, we die. I assume there's some kind of combo deck.
An opportunity to act rash
I mean,
is a chance.
that's kind of a combo. Thanks for the 14 months, Andre. Welcome back. Yeah, they're probably just an ultimatum deck, is accurate. Ugin plus lands, confirmed combo deck. Well, so it's not that they don't want to hear me talk through the thoughts, Pally. It's that they don't want to hear me say, pseudo Pally, what you don't understand what I just said, and then respond to your question. So content with people responding are popular, as they just don't want the chat component. That's true too. Some of them don't want to hear politics or anything non-gameplay related, but there's also a lot of people that's not even a factor. They just don't want to hear the chat part at all. That's fine. It's their prerogative. These sharks came into the world only to burn. Yeah, basically. I wonder if we're gonna have enough reach to burn them out here. Feather A. Oh, I missed that this had Trample. I don't think it's relevant this turn, but something to note for later, potentially. See, deluge of sharks. It's raining sharks. Hallelujah, it's raining sharks. Sharks.
Unutilized knowledge is rotting. Reality is unwritten.
Alright, just learned a little bit of info on the way out the door, playing main deck negates. Our Clarions and Helixes and Prismari Commands aren't, none of these are particularly good here. Disputes and Vetoes and Stances seem fine. We'll leave in one Helix as a little bit extra reach. One Helix we left in's a little feels bad, man. It's like a card, if we like peel it late, it can help us close is fine, but drawing early, it's basically a blank. My kingdom for a clock system that actually punishes people for going AFK. There aren't really creature decks in this format to leverage a card like Mass Manipulation against Colossal Keck. This format's mostly combo and control decks. Must have had something come up IRL or their connection dropped off. Probably something IRL, so they like took an action in the middle and then had to bounce again. There's no need to insult my opponent's intelligence. I know it's annoying and frustrating, like when your opponent walks away and the client just like doesn't really punish them at all for doing it, but like, yeah. You're playing at work and your boss walked in, your toddler needs something, the doorbell rang, like, stuff happens. I don't fault my opponent for spots like this so much as I fault the Magic Arena client for not being more beneficial to the person who's actually attentively playing the game. The core problem here isn't my opponent's behavior, it's that the client doesn't really penalize you for having such behavior. Yes, like that's a very good example of a great thing that other games do that Magic Arena could implement to make its timer better. In Runeterra, the first time your timer ticks all the way down, your subsequent timers go faster if you're not there. Little things like that. I think this is the one where if they time out, it gives them a loss. Just been sitting here held hostage for like 5 minutes. I guess it's technically still faster than Magic Online, where you can walk away for 7 minutes and 59 seconds. In terms of competitiveness, Tumos, I think our deck's like a 5 out of 10 or maybe a 6 out of 10 if we're being generous, but we've able to cobble together what our deck is like looking to accomplish as far as the thing goes pretty consistently. So as far as like build around submissions go, I think it's been a pretty reasonable success. We've been cohesive even if our deck's probably a little bit low on the power level side. Well, so one thing that always amuses me about the discourse around Magic and profits is people are like, I can't believe the arena client's not better. It's making so much money. I can't believe they haven't fixed the curling issues with foils. They're making so much money. It's like, well, you just said why those things are still why they are, right? Like you walk up to the corporate executive and you'd be like, we really need to spend more money on this. The product we're putting out is not good. The cards are curling. People are unhappy. And the corporate person in the suits could be like, we sell a lot of those, right? Like those are really profitable and we move a lot of units. They're like, yep. They're like, all right, that's fine. Leave them how they are. If you Gearhulk something that targets Feather, it'll come back to your hand at end of turn. It's great. Works exactly how we want it to. You know that what's it called cowboy meme where they're like, first time, huh? To all of the Magic Arena players out there who weren't Magic Online players before this, that's how I feel to explaining all of this to people coming into Magic for the first time. It's like, first time with the digital Magic client, huh? It's like, you must be new here. I think this is a Prismari Command, Shock, make a treasure, and then we'll Gearhulk command something. And the following turn we can Opus. MTGO cards are only not considered NFTs in the context that they don't exist on blockchain technology. Everything else about MTGO cards could be that. All right, so I let them attack with this goblin, and they could be baiting me here. But if they had an Ember Cleave, I wanted to be able to shatter the Ember Cleave rather than shock the goblin in that instance. Which is why I gave them the treasure token. It may or may not be right, but that was my thought pattern. My line of thinking. We get to ditch the Opie here, which sets us up for the next Gearhulk next turn. Oh, they're playing shamans, not Gruul. Yeah, probably. Oh yeah, this back token is a shaman. That's cute. It's real cute, Chip. It shall be my Magma Opus. If you're the shamans player, chat, you are terrified when I make this attack. Because it means this is about to happen. Despite all the rage. Are they dead? They're dead, right? Good chat. Good chat. All right, Clarion is great. Portable Hole's probably fine. Sublime Epiphany is probably slow and bad here. We'll trim a couple of Prismari commands and an Expressive Iteration. Bring the curve down a little bit. Illegal attacks, please try again. Mood. We have not played Reflection of Kiki. Cards not very good. As sad as it makes me to tell you, chat, Reflections of the Kiki is not very good. My plan of drawing spells this game is so far not working out particularly well. Merky, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Afternoon. Okay. Okay. What's going on, JMP? Thank you for the 58 months. Closing in on 5 years. How's Historic shaping up? It's mostly the same. Oh, no. Oh, no. Boshek, this is your fault. Why would you put that mojo on me? Why would you wish the double stone rain upon me? You did this. We did at least pick the Clarion up. That's fine. I believe, chat. I believe. I believe. You will pay for what you've done in shaman blood. Stop it! Stop killing my lands. I'd ask what my lands ever did to them, but we know, chat. We know what the lands did. They were big mean. Ooh, Realmwalker's a little scary. Good thing we flooded out this game. It was a tactical flood. Wow. Okay, that's scary. We need another Clarion on top of our deck. Portable hole. Holy moly. Are we dead? We block. We take 2. Not quite dead yet. I'm not dead yet. Soon though. Soon we shall be. Oh no. Oh no. Rubs the lotion on the skin or else it gets the rune blaster again. Truly blasted. Torched, chat. Fully and completely torched. Chat, the last time we tried to play the Shaman's deck, our opponent put Elish Thorn into play on turn 3 and I promptly shut Arena off. You want me to keep playing Magic? Come on now. Nah, the new Tamiyo is not very good. Her emblem isn't an emblem, it's an artifact that your opponent can destroy. And there aren't really creature decks that she can lock down, like you would need for her to be good. Divine Purge is symmetric, but also, like, I have 4 Clarions. I don't really need Divine Purge. Untapped land. Yeah, the fact that her emblem, like, her ultimate isn't even, like, a hexproof artifact or something is just, like, really wild to me. It's one of those who made these decisions type moments. I don't think Alchemy feels like it changed the best decks in Alchemy really at all. The black-white mid-range meat hook deck and the green-red aggro deck are still definitely the top of the food chain there. There's some new things that have been like kind of fun to tool around with, but overall the meta game's relatively stable compared to what it was before the set released. The green-white enchantments deck has seemed okay. Maybe there's something there. We know when the Neo Alchemy cards are coming. Hopefully they're coming before the March Open that I've scheduled. We don't actually know exactly when they're coming. We know they're coming after the Neo Championship in March. We don't actually have a date for them currently. Alright, unless the opponent has some type of surgical extraction effect I didn't know exists in this format, we should be done here with the Gearhulk. Incinerator, thank you for the 2 months, appreciate it, welcome back. Our big brain skillful outplays there, drawing all 3 Clarions in the aggro matchup. Ditching Flame Plus Bolt's probably pretty good against the Jeskai control deck. Not bad. Ooh. So, Shatterskull Smashing, we can actually do something very similar to what we do with Magma Opus, where we can target our feather for 1 damage and then get this back to our hand after 2. So if they go like land 1 toughness creature, we can kill it with while getting our card back for 4 mana. Just chilling. Yeah, Feather's stat line blocks Phoenix pretty reasonably. Awesome Precipic, thank you. There's some really, really gnarly looking decks that I want to try this afternoon, for sure. Horrors, thanks for the Prime. I know there's a ton of people that make a ton of great stuff on Twitch, and thanks for sending your Prime for this month. It's my full-time gig. I wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you. They usually don't have counter spells game 1, but it's the latter, so. Alright, so we don't get a copy of the feather, but we do get the Sublime Epiphany back to our hand here still. Which is nice. We got a second Unholy Heat out of them. I'll do this just to force them to spin their tires next turn. easing my way back into Magic, played a bunch of pre-release sealed stuff back in Urza Sagas, Mercadian Masks, left. The D&D set kind of drugged me back. Well, welcome back. I often say people don't quit Magic, we just take breaks. Some are longer than others. Things have changed a little bit since then. See how many more Phoenixes they put into play here. Figuring out their options here. His damage, that one's been changed for so long, that's not even one that comes up in my mind a lot of the time anymore. Tempo. Do 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 do. And Library Exile. Yeah, we're gonna have to get through that pocket at some point, right? Or are we just attacking to start? I mean, it's a good thing we're bringing this one back over and over again, because we just actually haven't drawn any other resources. Two main deck Crackling Drakes. Yeah, the channel lands are all real good. Who needs to draw spells? You just keep using the same one over and over again. Mood. Channel is a brand new mechanic. No, it's a reprint from the OG Kamigawa. There is a second Phoenix into the bin for our opponent. So copying Feather doesn't look like it accomplishes a lot, but it gives us a target with the Sublime Epiphany, so the Epiphany gets to come back now. So it's important that we do that. Copy it, choose to keep one, so our Epiphany keeps coming back. So we have 4, 8, 9 mana currently. Opponent's actually almost out of cards here. We have 2 Phoenixes coming back. Their deck has 15 cards left in it right now. It shall be my Magma Opus. I think we just pass, right? We're passing? I think we're passing. Because if I only have 9 mana, so if I brick on this, I guess what are the odds I brick on this? I could still Sublime Epiphany. And Library Exile. Oh, and there's actually already an Opus in my bin, too. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. And again, for those of you just joining us, Magma Opus flashback with Torrential Gearhulk works the way we want it to with Feather if I target one of my things. So this Opus in our bin is going to end up back in our hand. Wait, did they not cast 3 spells? Wait, what? Oh, we were already in combat. Oh, yikes. That's fine. I messed this up a little bit. It'll be okay. Okay, they've killed Feather. That's fine. So now we'll do 4. Wait, can I kill them? If I do 12? Nah, I'm just gonna be a little conservative here. I think this is fine. Chat, this is the one instance where it's okay to be a conservative in this game of Magic, okay? There's a series of things that could let us kill them next turn, but I don't think I'm supposed to be doing that. The grand old play. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana, so I can Feather plus Opus. Okay, that was kind of great. So my sideboard's actually like really poorly set up here. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I forgot Phoenix was a deck when I built this sideboard, and that's why there's no graveyard hate in it. I'm gonna level with you. We done messed up. I bring in a couple of Valorous Stances for killing Drakes and protecting our own things. I'll bring a couple of Clarions to sweep the board. These post-board games are about to get a lot harder, though, because they're going to have counter spells now, which means we don't just get to, like, free reign beat them up with our big expensive spells. Which is what we basically got to do there. They're going to board in so many counters. Well, to be fair, too, though, if they board in a lot of counter spells, their proactive plan will also be slowed a little bit, so it's not completely free for them. But yeah, probably Disputes and Pierces coming in their deck here. I think regardless of the result, this will probably be our last match of Magic for the afternoon. We'll finish this out, whether we got a Game 2 or a Game 3, and then we're gonna check out Riot's new expansion for Legends of Runeterra. They have early access today for content creators. Shout out to Riot Games for giving me access to that. They are great to work with consistently. Arcane Season 2 when? Hopefully soon. You know, honestly, getting a Dispute used on that kind of feels like a win for me with these cards in my hand. I have a land drop still. You think it's really going to be that long for another Season Assassin? I feel like it was wildly successful. Yeah, I'd expect, like, next year at some point. I don't expect it this year, but next year is in my expectations. No, there's not a lot of cat oven on the ladder, Canadian Bacon. People mostly play the ladder for fun, and cat oven is not a fun deck to play for most people. It's very tedious. It's a 13-month spunk agenda.
I know 88 ways hone your prowess.
Alright, I believe we have died. Get it boosted up in a team. I'm really hoping by the time the next round of boosters comes up, they've just got like flu shot, COVID booster all in one. Just hit me with one needle. Get it all hooked up. Feather's a pretty good stat line in this matchup. Having a bunch of them in the opener seems good. Blocks Phoenix well. I am fully expecting the COVID vaccine to be comparable to the flu. You gotta remember, chat, you know, people, there are a lot of comparisons drawn to like the 1917, 1918 flu pandemic or whenever that was. I forget if it's 1617 or 1718, but like the flu vaccines we have today that require yearly boosters for people to keep that protection up is from the 1718 flu, right? It became endemic. No, only if the creature targeted when you put it on the stack, Hexaw. Do you have a third Unholy Heat, friend? Man, their tires are spinning, Chip. Oh, no. Oh, opponent. I was gonna say we've all been there, but I don't know that that's actually one that I've done before. They must not have the warning labels on, right? So our opponent had Unholy Heat on the stack, and we responded with Valorous Stance, and our opponent Mystic disputed their own spell instead of our stance. Well, you can turn off the client asking you, do you really want to do that? If you're confident in your ability to click. I am not confident in my ability to click. So I very much have those checks turned on. Yes, those checks, you'll pry those checks from my cold dead hands, Chip. All right, I mean, all things considered, I'm going to consider this deck a success. I feel like we really accomplished what I was looking to accomplish. We got to Epiphany and Magma Opus with both Hinata and Feather out simultaneously a couple of times. Gearhulk was a fine backup plan of sorts. Yeah, we accomplished my goals going into this. Is this deck top tier? Probably not. Is it better than regular Jeskai control? Also probably not. But if you're into a good gimmick, and boy golly am I into a good gimmick on occasion, our gimmick is really sweet here. And if our gimmick's genuinely very powerful when it gets to go off, right? Like, getting to recast these spells for cheap mana is super strong. They're powerful spells. Oh, we are definitely